All right, we are live. I think if the powers that be allow us, we are live. For people who don't know, Susanna was also removed from Twitter just
A
today.
few hours ago.
A few hours ago, Twitter was not in
suspended.
full suspension.
Wait, shall I pull some things up?
Not like temporarily, like not like a limited time suspension that usually people get before you get a full suspension. No, like she's permanently removed from Twitter.
Well,
And Susanna, can you tell us why have you been removed from Twitter?
I don't know why.
No, we can't. You know why we cannot tell you why Susanna has been removed from Twitter?
Because I got no email notification from Twitter. They have
because there's nothing. There's not like Twitter is not even telling you like, oh, here's a violation. You did this. You did that. Nope. Nothing. There's no warning. No emails. No, this is what you did wrong. This is the tweet that violated the rules. Just like, bye bye. For when? For how long? Forever. For what reason? Screw you. That's it. That's the reason. That's what.
They didn't even send me the customary. We've all seen the emails that people get when they were suspended with the list of tweets.
Yeah.
And specific reasons of what policy you violated. I received no notification. I was literally trying to send a tweet in support of Zara K. Hashtag Justice for Zara K.
No, you're confusing people. It had nothing to do with Zara K.
What I'm saying.
And you have to understand, most people that are here don't know what you're talking about. You were about to go and tweet something. This has nothing to do with that case. You were about to go tweet something, and then you notice your account has been suspended. By the way, the last news. So we have got a strike from on YouTube on our Atheist Republic YouTube page because the Shias are doing false copyright strikes against us, and that's why on YouTube you're watching this on my personal, we're streaming this on my personal YouTube account, Armin Navabi, rather than Atheist Republic's YouTube account, because you can upload now when you have a strike, but you can't stream. So that's why we're streaming on my personal Armin Navabi YouTube account. By the way, if you're here, maybe subscribe so that you could see that. Yeah, maybe subscribe here so that whenever there's a problem with our YouTube accounts, you can see us here. So we're going to strike on YouTube. My personal Twitter account has been permanently suspended on Twitter because of Hindutva coming after us. The Hindu, the most peaceful way of life, not a religion at all. People that are not butthurt, they're not at all like Islamist or anything like that. They came out and to remove my Twitter account for no violation at all, like because none of Twitter's community guidelines were violated, but somehow they managed to suspend my account permanently. Now they came after Susanna's account. Our Facebook page, which is the world's largest atheist Facebook community. We're going to talk about that on the last news. That has been completely blocked in India, but we'll get to that in the last news. So yeah, they're like fun.
It's been a good week. It's been a great week.
Yeah. So make sure you guys subscribe to our newsletter which is in the description, because that's the only way you're going to be in touch with us, and they're not going to be able to remove us from our newsletter. Okay, that's the only way that is guaranteed that we're going to be in touch with you, because they're taking us out everywhere. Okay, and again, we're going to have blasphemous art exclusive to our newsletter subscribers coming out soon. It's not going to be those are going to be safe for work. There's not going those are going to be not on Patreon. There's going to be nowhere else, only for our newsletter subscribers. That's why we're like heavily promoting our newsletter, because everywhere else they're taking us out, and it's working, by the way. People are subscribing to our newsletter in much higher numbers than they used to. And again, newsletter is the only way to make sure that nobody can remove you. Okay, so get on our newsletter. Anyways,
yeah, here's what I said in my appeal. Important. I have not received an email from Twitter notifying me of what policy I violated. I have never had my account restricted and have never been asked to delete any tweets to regain access to my account. I have never had a restriction on my account. Twitter has not sent me the standard email that lists the tweets, if any, that deemed me worthy of full suspension. This appears to be a totally blind suspension. Please correct. And
All
then
right.
I just
Let's-
included more
yeah.
info on what I saw on my account.
Anyways,
Not
let's get to the news because we're here to talk about the news. We have 10 news to cover. And also, Pat, go screw yourself. We just had an original announcement to make. And
Today is not the day, Pat.
Like Pat, like go screw off. Get the hell out of here. We're gonna get to the news. We have 10 news items, which is relevant to the headline. We're gonna get to it. If you don't like it, get the hell out of here. Go, shoo. Go away. All right,
Oh,
Falls. What is this?
Razam is asking, why is the stream on Armin's account? Because a certain production company behind the Shia propagandist film Lady of Heaven, decided to file a false copyright claim against us, even though our work was certainly 100% transformative.
Yes.
So
people don't know what you're talking about, and we don't have time to explain that.
Okay.
Like you're saying transformative as if people know what you're talking about.
I mean,
Anyways, we do need to get to the news. So we have 10 news items, right? So what is the first news?
The first news. Wait, we can clap. We can give a big clap.
Yes, first news.
First news. Victory. New American anti-female genital mutilation law in the United States of America. So there is a new American anti-FGM law that closes religious and cultural loopholes. This is, everyone was concerned about the events of January 6th. Well, something very good happened the day after. On January 7th, 2021, the United States tightened the ban on the, quote, abhorrent practice of female genital mutilation, aka FGM, attempting to end the ancient ritual that million girls worldwide endure. By voting the, quote, Stop FGM Act into law, federal authorities can increase the maximum jail sentence for those who perform FGM from 5 to 10 years. The new law closes loopholes, extending the span of punishable offenses relating to FGM. The law specifies that, quote, Congress has the affirmative power to prohibit this conduct. Part of the law in Section 3C reads, quote, it shall not be a defense to a prosecution under this section that female genital mutilation is required as a matter of religion, custom, tradition, ritual, or standard practice, end quote. A legal expert on FGM with the global rights group Equality Now, Divya Srinivasan, advises that the new law will help the U.S. government persuade other countries to act. Quote, ending FGM is part of the U.S. foreign policy, so it's important for their credibility that they have strong laws themselves, she added.
Okay, when you say FGM, you have to understand that a lot of people have no idea what FGM is. So you have to be a little bit more like...
I said in the beginning, female genital mutilation repeatedly.
So then, so why is people still asking? I can't pay attention to everything, guys. I'm doing like four or five things at the same time right now. Okay. So Susanna already explained. Okay. By the way, if you guys, this is amazing news, and if you guys notice, because of the number of patrons have grown, we managed to cover we brought back our writers, and now we get to cover these stories on our own website, atheistrepublic.com, right? So that's great. We managed to bring back our news section of our website. So thank you for people who are patrons and are supporting us, because we for a while we had to cut that. But look, I like the way we're covering this. I do think that I don't know who's doing the editing on these articles. These hyperlinks are way too long. I've never seen hyperlinks that are just this full of text. Like, you don't usually do it. Okay.
Can we talk about that later?
No, I just want to, it's very well sourced, and links to all the places where you could see where the news is coming from. So it's all sourced and everything. So it's pretty good, right? And also, let's see what the comments here. Look, we have comment section, and you could comment here. Look at that. That's fantastic. Let's look at some of the comments. What is this? This is so dumb, though. It will be declared unconstitutional again. Hypocrisy doesn't work. Imagining your cultural mutilation of healthy children. Oh yeah, is somehow valid, but their mutilation of healthy children is the crime of the century. What a bunch of brain dead, uneducated. What is this talking about? I don't even
They're
understand.
talking about the hypocrisy of not banning male genital mutilation or male circumcision as well. Because see, the
Oh
person's
yeah.
name is intactivist. That's generally a name for people who are against
Oh.
all form of circumcision, including male genital mutilation. And so they're just, and the cutting of all children. You stupid psycho cowards.
Yeah.
So
So no.
they're a little aggressive, but yeah, I agree. The cutting of baby males should be banned as well.
Okay, so yeah, we agree, but Darwinian atheists, yes, we agree also. Like, yeah, we are against male genital mutilation as well as female genital mutilation, of course. But this is progress. Come on, guys. Like, just because you're not getting everything that you want, that means that this is not progress. Are you guys like serious right now? Are you guys being serious right now? This, like, look at this idiots. Like, where's the hypocrisy? It's not hypocrisy for you to be congratulating making some progress.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just this is progress, you idiots. I'm gonna like, oh my god. Yes, I agree. Male genital mutilation has to be illegal. It has to be banned. It needs to be banned. Like, it should have been illegal
yesterday.
Yes, it's like 1,000 years ago. It should have never been. It should have never been normalized. Doesn't make any, like, it's insane. It's barbaric. You're cutting little babies, and you're like, oh, but this is normal. Yeah, you're insane for even allowing that. Okay, anybody who thinks this is justified in any ways, unless other than rare medical situations, you're insane. You're insane.
Mm-hmm.
You're effed in the head. Okay, of course, cutting babies should be legal, no matter any body parts. Cutting babies, any parts of them should be illegal unless there's medical necessary. Like, very very rare situations, of course. But just now that this is happening, you can't see this as progress just because they're not going all the way. God damn it, man! People be crazy.
So Gregory is saying this federal anti-FGM law is going to get thrown out again because federal courts already determined that banning genital mutilation is outside the purview of the federal government, only the state governments. So in this article that we wrote on our website, we discuss some of the previous cases in which it was thrown out. Now, I'm no lawyer, but I think the part of the law that says the law specifies that Congress has the affirmative power to prohibit this conduct. I believe that part is actually addressing that factor. And the circumstances regarding why the last one was thrown out was pretty wild. But I would like to highlight the fact that they are saying it shall not be a defense that this genital mutilation is required as a matter of religion, custom, tradition, ritual, or standard practice. So basically, they're saying that this isn't covered under some guise of religious freedom, or which is going to be interesting because if this stands, then this would set the precedent that, well, why is male genital mutilation allowed as a defense under the matter of religion, custom, tradition, ritual, or standard practice itself? So I really hope that this does stand, because then that would set an amazing precedent.
Yes, if you are for banning male genital mutilation, otherwise known as circumcision, they should just call it male genital mutilation, okay? But if you are for that, then you should be for more laws against FGM, because it's really hard for people to argue why FGM should be banned and not see the same reasoning apply to male genital mutilation, right? So keep advocating. Like, more people seem like it's a gateway. Like, more people are okay with like being as aggressive as possible for female genital mutilation. Once that becomes normalized, once you set a precedent there, then you could apply the same. Now we have more and more laws, and now you could like legally justify, well, if that's justified, this also applies to male genital mutilation, right?
Oh, I forgot to say that Rivka unfortunately can't join us today because she's traveling. But I really wish she was here right now because she has such a good understanding of the law.
Yeah. Do you want to read this comment before I go to another
Darwinian Atheist is saying, I appreciate the progress, and that wasn't whataboutism. I just joined the stream.
Okay. Hey, I'm gonna use your comments to make my point. I don't. Okay. What is this? Okay, Doll is saying something. I'm not sure what this is. I don't understand what this means. Do you want to read it?
The government should be able to do that through the Commerce Clause. What the H? They bent the rules for way less. Why not do it now?
I don't know what that means.
Well, the Commerce Clause is one of the ways that this is it's a key part of this law that it also that everything hinges upon. So Gregory is saying sex discriminatory genital mutilation laws for 23 years since 1997 is not progress in any sense. Imagine if MLK Jr. said that the civil rights movement should only protect blacks. Well, I mean, that's a good point. I think what I'm trying to highlight here is that if this is successful, this would set legal precedent that would help bring other people the progress forward. So
no, I agree, Gregory.
Let me finish. The civil rights movement of like the early 1960s helped set the precedent for the gay rights movement that emerged in the 70s, right? Because it helped establish that discrimination on the basis of immutable characteristics is not unconstitutional, but in violation of the Civil Rights Act. So I'm kind of referring to that kind of like the extension. What am I trying to say? It's been a crazy day.
Okay, can I say something?
Development in the law over time.
All right. So no, Gregory, you're completely right. And that's why if this FGM, if that's why people who are against male genital mutilation should support this, because once this is normalized, once this is the law, then it's very hard to argue against not making it. Like it will be a step towards banning male genital mutilation, because you could argue it's sexism if you don't do that, right? So hold on. Secular protest saying, does Islam have a strong stance in favor of male genital mutilation? Strong, yeah. I mean, it's mandatory, so it is as strong as it could get, right? All right, cool.
Could you make a few of our trusty regulars an admin?
Oh yeah,
because we're on a new channel and we are flooded with trolls for some reason today.
Yeah. Maybe AGA has some experience.
Suha.
Oh yeah, where's Suha? Add moderator. So AGA, you're a mod now because you have some experience. Guys, do not ban people for no reason, okay? We have like today we have some people trolling in the YouTube live chat. So I'm creating some mods. Okay.
Oh, Katie's here too.
Katie is here too.
Yeah.
Oh, Katie's oh no, where's Katie? Oh, Katie. I'm gonna make Katie and mod. Guys, only do this for people who are spamming, okay? Don't be like, oh, we're gonna block somebody because they said something that could remove our YouTube account or something. No, you're not gonna get punished for the comments in the live chat for YouTube, okay? Like, please do not police people's speech, even if it's the most horrible speech. Only remove people who are just spamming, okay? Like nonstop same message like 10 or 20 times. And also don't bother telling them not spamming, and don't I don't know, stop spamming, because they're gonna spam anyways, right? All right, do we go to the next news? Unless you want to add something.
No, that's let's go to the next news.
Guys, yeah, Dominator, I'm not the most trusted. Guys, I'm saying the most trusted because these people have experience admitting. Don't be butthurt over not becoming.
No, but he's making a joke saying I'm not the most trusted because I didn't call Armin the most sexiest ex-Muslim.
Yes.
That's a betrayal we cannot tolerate.
Yes. I mean, that would have helped.
Okay, so Let us go to the next news.
Oh, we can't clap for this one.
No.
Ooh. Okay, next news.
Okay, next news. 3 sentenced to death for blasphemy in Pakistan. In Pakistan, an anti-terrorism court, for those who are unfamiliar, we say terrorism to avoid YouTube flagging this algorithms. We mean people who do boom boom type of things.
Boom boom people, the boom boom people.
Okay. So in Pakistan, an anti-terrorism court sentenced 3 people to death for social media posts insulting the Prophet Muhammad. According to the Federal Investigative Agency, or FIA, which has been investigating the cases since 2017, 2 men were charged with spreading sacrilegious ideas on social media using fake profiles. A 3rd man allegedly uploaded blasphemous content to YouTube. A 4th man was also accused of spreading blasphemy within his classroom. The 4 accused were arrested in September of 2017, when they pled not guilty to those charges. This is Pakistan's first case where the accused are convicted for expressing blasphemous ideas on social media. According to the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom, Pakistan has dozens of convicts on death row or serving life imprisonment for committing blasphemy. So what we have embedded in the article is what is alleged to have been some of the blasphemous lecture or content from that professor. Now, the professor was not actually sentenced to death, but the other 3 were.
So somebody was recording the professor and he said something blasphemous, and that's why they're in trouble now?
That's that one specific individual.
Okay, that's and by the way, I was managing things behind it. Did you mention that in Pakistan people have been being accused of like sentenced to death for blasphemy left and right? However, my understanding is that as of right now, nobody has yet been executed for blasphemy in Pakistan by the government, right?
I didn't mention that, but you are correct.
Right. So a lot of people have died in Pakistan for blasphemy, but that's usually because the mob got to them before the government, right? So even though tons of people have been charged, have been sentenced to death for blasphemy in Pakistan, and the numbers are rising, most of them, I mean, none of them have yet been executed by the government of Pakistan. But that doesn't mean but a lot of people have been killed for blasphemy, but that's not because the government did it, but because the people did it themselves. So like they don't trust the government to actually carry out the execution. So a lot of these death sentences are because the government is in Pakistan is actually very afraid of its own religious community, right? So this is mostly the government trying to appease the crowd, like, and but the people, a lot of religious people in Pakistan they're like, yeah, you guys are actually not doing what you're supposed to do. Like we see you, government, we see you handing out death sentences, but you're actually not carrying them out. So just let them free, so we could do it for you. That's what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, the religious community in Pakistan has assassinated their own governors, like Salman Taseer. Yeah, they'll assassinate their own politicians, and then I believe what was his killer's name, Qadri or something. I believe they even built a mosque in his name after assassinating Salman Taseer for merely pushing back against putting Asia Bibi on death row for blasphemy, just to give you an idea of how severe the situation is. Yeah, just to in regards to that 4th individual, the college instructor, he was sentenced to a fine and a 10-year jail term for promulgating blasphemous views while lecturing to his students. And that clip that we showed subsequently went viral. the prosecution produced 19 witnesses to testify against the accused. However, the court would not admit any witnesses that had any blood relations to the accused. The four men convicted of blasphemy have the opportunity to appeal to the anti-terrorism court decisions in 2 higher courts. So they can still petition the court to overturn their conviction or to plead for mercy from the president directly. And since 1980, approximately 80 people were victims of extrajudicial mob killings before their trials could even complete the court process. So it's like if Pakistan, the state, may not have executed you for blasphemy, but the mob definitely can or will. To give some more context of how frequent this is, almost 1,300 cases of blasphemy were filed in Pakistan between 2011 and 2015. And there are, I follow a person on Twitter who documents all of the ongoing cases that are filed with the police in Pakistan. And there will be dozens by the month. And it seems to be escalating due to the increasing availability of phones and social media. Imam Hussein, do you want me to read that?
No,
said, that's a good point considering the leader of that country is an Oxford-educated athlete who panders to his crowd. It's hard to believe he is this ignorant on enlightenment. Well, I don't think he is ignorant. I think he is a politician. I think he has to pander to his base. Like when Khadim Rizvi died, he was putting out tweets about, his condolences for this extremely hardline religious leader who put a fatwa on the son of Salman Taseer, who Armin and I both talked to recently. Armin interviewed him on Secular Jihadist. Rosalind is saying this is Khadim Rizvi's legacy. There's a lot that goes into this. I mean, it's an entire environment that goes around this, right? He's not solely responsible for this environment. He maybe utilized it or mobilized it particularly effectively, but it's not exclusively his fault. Although, he did call for. I don't even know if I can say what he says. I don't even think I can say what he said on YouTube. He wanted the country of France to be completely wiped off the map, for example, because Macron defended simply the right to create cartoons of profit, not even defending doing that specifically himself. I'm very passionate about the issue of blasphemy, specifically in Pakistan, and so I wanted to make sure we highlighted this news this week. Should we go to the next news?
Yeah, but just let's last comment I'm going to read them by Imam Hussein saying the biggest victims of these blasphemy cases are Ahmadi and Shia Muslims. Yeah, the main victims are not even non-Muslims; they're Muslims themselves.
Mm-hmm. Although they do come after Sikhs and Hindus, that's for sure.
Yes, yeah, but in number-wise, the main victims are still Muslims. Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, can we clap for the next news?
It's debatable. It involves a little big tech censorship, potentially, if you want to see it that way. But I think we can clap for this news.
All right, next news.
Next news. No one was threatened with death.
That's already.
That's our standard.
That's our standard. Yay! It's bad news, but nobody's being threatened or killed. Yay! That's progress.
Yay! So Twitter deletes Chinese embassy's Uyghur quote-unquote emancipation tweet in the USA and China. Twitter recently deleted a post from the U.S. Chinese embassy that claimed that Uyghur women had their minds emancipated by policies that meet the UN's. Who the frick is messaging me right now? I'm going to start over because that's so distracting. I'm sorry, you guys.
Put it on silent.
I'm
Like,
going to slap someone right now. Okay. Okay. Next news.
Next news.
Twitter deletes Chinese embassy's Uyghur emancipation tweet. Twitter recently deleted a post from the U.S. Chinese embassy that claimed that Uyghur women had their minds, quote unquote, emancipated by policies that meet the UN's United Nations criteria for genocide in the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region of China. The tweet states, quote, a study shows that in the process of eradicating extremism, the minds of Uyghur women in Xinjiang were emancipated and gender equality and reproductive health were promoted, making them no longer baby-making machines. They are more confident and independent, end quote. Twitter removed the Chinese embassy's tweet following widespread objections that accused Beijing of seeking to expunge Uyghur culture. The post was deleted for violating rules against, quote unquote, the dehumanization of a group of people. The tweet linked to an article written by state-run media China Daily, which celebrated declining birth rates in Xinjiang. Scholar Adrian Zenz, known for his studies of the re-education camps in Xinjiang, reports that Uyghur women are threatened with being imprisoned in internment camps if they refuse to abort pregnancies that exceed local birth quotas. So I wanted to highlight this because I remember seeing this absolutely crazy tweet when it was first released. And I remember quote retweeting it and saying, well, I can't check anymore because my Twitter is suspended. So I'm going to have to paraphrase. But I was like, yeah, like they are literally not baby making machines anymore because you have forcibly sterilized them according to your own government's documents. Like, yeah, that would be pretty effective in liberating them from that if they're being forcibly sterilized. Like, it's just absolutely insane.
Wait, so this was I mean, we support the deletion of this tweet though, right?
Yes. I mean, some people would say like that should be up to show to the public like what the ideas that they're trying to push, right? Other people, because this was a fallout from Trump being banned, was people were immediately bringing up this specific tweet and saying, well, you banned Trump, but what about this blatant propaganda from the Chinese regime? They're just allowed to spread that. They're just allowed to spread that like unchecked. Like, that's crazy. So after the uproar surrounding Trump, and then a lot of other specific tweets were deleted, like certain tweets from Ayatollah Khamenei regarding certain things he said about Israel that I cannot even talk about on Twitter. I mean, YouTube. I can't even intimate what Khamenei has said about Israel here. But so those are also deleted as well. So whether or not that those should have been deleted by Twitter is probably a separate conversation. But I just the idea that the Chinese embassy is really putting forth the idea that in the process of eradicating extremism, the minds of Uyghur women in Xinjiang were emancipated and gender equality and reproductive health was promoted. They're no longer baby-making machines. They're more confident and independent. It's crazy. Like, what you're doing, according to documents revealed from your own government, meets established criteria of genocide. It's demographic engineering. Like, yeah. Just wild.
So yeah, I mean, I might agree with Gregory here, because I don't know, like, we want to see how effed up Chinese government is and what they're showing.
Yeah.
Like, why remove it? Let people see so we could highlight it, to expose them. I don't know. I don't think it's the right strategy. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong though. I'm okay with.
What do you think about the tweet itself and their propaganda?
What do you think I think about the tweet? Like I'm hoping we don't need to explain to our audience how messed up the tweet is, right? Like I hope that goes beyond saying, right? I mean, we could have. I think the more nuanced conversation is, given how effed up the tweet is, is it a good idea for Twitter to remove it or not remove it? That I'm hoping, if there's a disagreement in our audience, that's the disagreement. I hope
Yeah.
everybody's on the same side of how screwed up the like the tweet is by itself. Okay, so yeah.
I think it's the tweet is just absolutely crazy. I think the only reason why it was deleted was because people were bringing it up as a specific example of Twitter's hypocrisy with regards to
Yeah, I mean,
Trump's
Twitter is,
ban. I mean, that's speculation, guys, but like,
yeah, I mean, this is what the Pandora's box that Twitter has opened now
yeah,
with removing Trump from Twitter, because last time I checked, Khamenei still has his account. I mean, his tweets were deleted. I mean,
specific tweets.
yeah, but his account is still there. So, but we're gonna remove every single. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We can have a conversation about that later. Like, I don't know. I don't know, but
It's really complicated.
it's complicated, I guess. Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of consequences to it. Gregory has an
Then
interesting comment. Oops. Saying
highlight.
deleting the tweet is akin to erasing Chinese arrogance about a genocide they are committing and thus erasing the record of Uyghur suffering.
Well, I mean, you could say that the record will still be there because people are going to screenshot it and all. But I guess it's like, I mean, it's maybe they won't post it again, and we want them to post it so that we can see how effed up it is. Yeah. But I don't know. And I think like this is a calculation, like measuring the harm from them spreading their poison, and the benefit of us seeing that they're spreading poison, like doing a cost benefit analysis here. I don't think it's as easy and simple as a lot of people make it seem to be. I tend to be more on the side of let it all be there for everyone to see. But I do hold my position with a very high level of skepticism, and I'm open to changing my opinion. But I am more on Gregory's side on this. But again, I don't hold this position. But I'm not married to this position. Okay. Anyways, can we? The next news looks kind of fun. Is it as fun as it looks?
No, someone dies.
Oof. Okay, never mind. Next news.
Next news. Man claims Jesus told him to cause fatal crash to save infant son. In Kentucky of the United States of America, on January 9th, 2021, a Kentucky man with his infant son in his lap caused a fatal head-on collision while allegedly under the influence of alcohol. The police said the 30-year-old driver, Jesse Brown, reported that he heard Jesus tell him to steer into oncoming traffic if he wanted to save his infant son, Dalton. Quote, Brown stated that Dalton had died, and Jesus told him that if he hit the oncoming car, Dalton would be brought back to life and things would be better, end quote, the officer, Warner, noted. But according to police, the baby was not dead or had not died. The preliminary investigation notes that Brown was holding his infant 7-month-old son while driving. After his truck crossed into oncoming traffic and caused a head-on collision, the driver of the other vehicle was pronounced dead at the scene of the wreck.
Okay, so the baby was not dead, but somebody else died?
Yeah, so the baby was not dead for whatever reason. This man who was allegedly on the influence of something, allegedly alcohol. Well, this doesn't really sound like alcohol. I don't know. he was under the influence and driving, and he had his 7-month-old in his lap while he's at the wheel of the car. And for some reason, he believed his son was dead, and he heard voices that he claims was Jesus telling him that if his son that was not dead was if they hit a car, then this child would be brought back to life, and that Jesus told him to do this. And the driver of the car that he hit was killed.
Okay. I do want to address secular Proton's comment saying I wouldn't blame religion completely. He might be just insane, might have happened with or without religion. All right, but I have to give my speech here every time something like this happens. Okay, religion is often not whenever something bad happens and religion is involved. Religion is often not the only factor. Okay. And it's a contributing factor, and it's not the only factor, okay? But it's almost always a negative factor, okay? So you have real estate issues. It's already a problem without religion. You add religion to it, becomes a bigger problem. You have, land disputes. You add it's already a problem without religion. You have war. You're going to have war. You're going to have greed. You're going to have political differences. You're going to have tribalism. You're going to have ethnic differences. You're going to have discrimination. All of this happens with and without religion. What the role of religion is not often the only reason why these things happen, but all of these problems, when you add religion to them, becomes a lot worse, a lot more complicated, and a lot more difficult to solve. Okay, same thing with mental health. Okay, mental health, a lot of people have mental health issues without religion, and sometimes that ends up in something very disastrous without religion. Okay, but people with mental health issues, when you add religion to it, you make it a lot worse, right? Just like religion poisons everything, right? And the way I explain this is like, imagine somebody, just like, let's forget religion, okay? Imagine somebody hears voices, okay? Even without religion, I think everybody can recognize that me going to this person and somebody that has no mental health expertise and education, going to that person, telling them, hey, guess what? The voices that you're hearing, they're real, and they're coming from a high position of authority, and you should take them seriously. Even if this is not Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, or any other religion, you could be like, what the hell are you doing, Armin? That's a very irresponsible message to give to somebody who has mental health issues or is hearing voices. So if you could recognize how damaging that would be, you could also recognize how damaging religion would be to somebody that is hearing voices, right? So yes, religion is not the only factor, but it makes an already existing problem a lot worse, and that's what religion often does. Go on, Susanna.
So where did this comment go? Ghost Bunny is saying it could have been paranoid schizophrenia. Alcohol may have added to it. And Matthew is saying this sounds like psychosis. So, hearing voices is just a symptom of, it's a hallucination. Okay. Hallucinations are broadly associated with psychosis, and, hallucinations are not exclusive. Auditory hallucinations are not exclusive to schizophrenia. Okay. So we have nothing, no information available to us that leads us to believe that any of this was schizophrenia specifically. Okay. Psychosis just means a break from reality. So many different mental health conditions can lead to a break from reality. In fact, there's such a thing as called alcohol-related psychosis or alcohol-induced psychosis. So this is pure speculation. I am not any sort of mental health expert, licensed provider, etc. But based on my experience of being physically assaulted by someone that I believe to have been experiencing alcohol-induced psychosis, it sounds like a very similar situation. Again, skeptical. I don't know that for a fact. Okay. But it's really unfortunate. And someone was saying that, where did the comment go? That they might be using the Jesus card to try to say that it would like get a lighter sentence. I don't know. In this situation, I don't think that this would really lead you to have a lighter sentence. Like, usually people make appeals to religion to get a lighter sentence in terms of saying like, oh, I'm a follower of Christ, look at the record I have at my church or whatever. They use it to try to bolster their pattern of behavior or their character over time. That given inordinate clout towards validating your character over time. But in terms of like, oh, I just heard Jesus, I've never heard of that being used to soften the penalties that someone has to face for something like this, especially a deadly collision that involves substance abuse. So, yeah.
All right. Wait, do we have the? I'm gonna have the next news ready. Can
Oh,
I clap for the next news?
No, it's really bad.
Do we have any good news today?
We have lighter news. The good news was at the top of the stream.
Okay,
We have a little bit better news later.
Okay. Next news. Wait, why am I on the? Hold on, this is not
Oh,
right.
there we go.
All right. Next news.
Next news. Oh man, this is terrible. 50-year-old woman gang raped and allegedly murdered by priest in Uttar Pradesh, India.
Of course, Uttar Pradesh, India.
Yeah. Can people please send me? Well, I'm not on Twitter anymore. And on the Discord, we have a news suggestions channel. Please send me positive news from Uttar Pradesh, because I know it cannot always be this bad. There's got to be something good going on in Uttar Pradesh. Please bring it to my attention. So, okay. A 50-year-old Indian woman was allegedly gang raped and murdered by 3 men, including a temple priest, inside of a temple in the village of Budan, Uttar Pradesh, in the state of Uttar Pradesh. According to the police, the woman had sustained horrific injuries, especially to her genitals. The 50-year-old woman victim, who worked as an Angawadi, or a rural childcare worker, went to perform puja, or a worship ritual, in a temple on Sunday evening. She regularly visited the temple for the past several years since she lived in the vicinity. The temple priest, who regularly performed rituals in the temple, lived in the same area and was known to the locals. On Sunday night, January 3rd, 3 men dropped a woman outside her house in critically injured conditions. She died during treatment at a district hospital. So, this is just, it's really bad. I mean, I don't know how much we want to get into the details of the crime, but
Go on. Can I play this? Playable? Like, I mean, is there anything bad here that I cannot play on
no,
YouTube?
it's just people taking away the alleged perpetrators.
Okay, so what's the motivation again?
Not known at this point. Just a really vicious, deadly assault. I mean, motivation, she's 50. Now, I'm not going to say that that's so old, but she's older, like presumably a bit more vulnerable. And if people are probably familiar with that very famous case that happened, I believe it was in Delhi, of a young girl who was basically raped to death in a bus because she had a boyfriend, and they basically raped her with foreign objects until the injuries caused her to die. It's a similar situation here. It's really disgusting.
You want to read this comment by Katie?
UP banned flaunting your caste on car stickers in public. I think this is recent news. Would you consider it good news though?
Oh.
Doing nada about discrimination but restricts free speech.
Oh, I thought it was going to be about this news item.
That's an interesting point. So people are trying to give me good news about Uttar Pradesh in the chat right now.
That should be a different discussion. Let's keep the comments on this one. Yeah, I see other people on Twitch also are trying to send us some good news. Okay, yeah, some people are saying, okay, fine, I'll highlight it. Good news from Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh is giving 1 million vaccines in 311 districts. Yeah, thank you guys. You guys are trying to bring. Oh, guys, can you keep the comments on what's relevant here?
Yeah, it's. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's just brutal. It's not completely clear to me how, based on what I've read about this case, how the priest comes into this. I think because people are alleging that this occurred in the temple and that they were able to catch the other people who committed this crime, but that the priest has absconded. Maybe there's been developments since I last read the details on this. But it's just brutal. And I'm curious what our Indian members have to say about if, I mean, in the West, there's this notorious tradition of priests being treated more lightly for sexual abuse than other
yeah, that's a good
civilians.
point.
So is that a cultural norm? I don't know if norm is the right term, but something that happens in India, where they tend to get a lighter sentence because they're given a more charitable sentence because they have this.
Yes, because they're good people. Like otherwise, other than this horrible thing, they're otherwise a priest. I mean, come on, they're a priest. Don't be too hard on them. That's what they're saying. They say that in the United States. I mean, if they say that, judges have accepted that as a defense in the United States. I bet you, if they accept that as a defense in the United States, they would do accept that as a defense in India as well. Here, Darwinian atheist saying not all news is bad, though Uttar Pradesh. Say Uttar Pradesh instead of UP because a lot of people don't know what you mean when you say UP. Susanna. Uttar Pradesh has emancipated transgender people and are hiring them in the railways. A college for trans people. Okay, I don't think that's how you. Okay, a college for trans people was opened recently. Wait, a specific college for trans people?
Yeah, that's a little weird.
That is a bit strange. Katie is saying, "Wow, I went to trans. Like, where did you get?"
Katie is saying Yogi himself, meaning Yogi A. I can't say his full name. He's the chief minister of Uttar Pradesh. Yogi A himself has been known to be in support of rapists if they are of the same caste as himself. The upper caste criminals are also likely to get bail easily. And I mean, a priest is the most likely to be upper caste. So.
Oh, here Silva has a comment as
well. Priests getting lighter sentences in India depends on the judge preceding the trial. That makes sense.
Yeah, same as in the US, I guess. Okay, Razam saying social status seems to play a big role in Indian sentencing. Priests have very high status in India.
Yeah.
So yeah, therefore confirming that this is it might have an impact. Darwinian atheist is saying that's just Katie's opinion. There's no data showing the claim. Well, that's your opinion as well, I guess. We don't know if there's data on this or not. All right. We should go to the next news. Sounds crazy.
It is crazy.
And I clap for it at least. Nobody died.
Yeah, let's stop for it. It's just nonsense.
We do. Yes.
Like,
I mean, I'm afraid though the next news could. Okay, I hope it doesn't get us a strike or something. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Next news.
Next news. White TikTok mom blasted for making kids pray to black women. Okay. In the United States of America. This is the discourse in America, you guys.
What's wrong with your country, Susanna? What's wrong with you?
Okay.
Oh wow! Only in the U.S. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
If the Indians in our live chat were like kind of like, "Oh my God, what's wrong with our country?" I mean, this is not as bad. Like, just to be fair, like it's not as bad. But just like let's just like make fun of other people's countries, so you guys don't feel like every time it's about your country. Okay, I know it's not even close to bad news we get from other places, but it's just good to make fun of United States. But go on.
Oh my God. Look at the picture in the back. Can you see them?
Yes. Oh my God. There's a video. Is it safe to play the video?
I don't, I mean, there's nothing bad in it. Could we get any sort of strike for it? I don't know.
No.
There is added audio in the background of it.
Like music?
No, just a guy saying it.
Is there any N-word or anything?
No.
Okay, I'm just gonna play it, okay? Okay.
Black women are the reason that Donald Trump is no longer going to be our president.
All hail black women.
Black women.
Okay. As funny as this is, I guess it's a joke though. Is it? I think it's. I think.
And then you do captions on top of the TikTok. The caption on top of her TikTok where she has her 3 sons is saying, "Me teaching my white boys how to behave." And then if you're listening to the audio of this, as she scrolls, you see 2 of her older boys kneeling and supplicating to black women.
Okay. This is actually. If I was a black woman, I would be so offended by this.
Well, let's get into this. Okay, let me read
not
my
what
caption.
we want. Like I'm pretty sure I'm almost okay. I don't even have to check. Okay, I can almost guarantee that there's a whole bunch of black women that are watching this, and they're like,
"No, thank you.
What the hell is this? Like, no. This is not that. We don't like. We want equal rights. We don't want you. We don't want your kids to be worshiping us. Like no. We don't. We want less discrimination. We want better socioeconomic factors, more access to jobs, less police brutality, stuff like that. Like." Wait. Your guys are not helping. I think this. Okay, here's the thing.
Wait, Armin, I still need to read the news caption.
Okay, read it.
Okay, so a white mom on TikTok recently posted a video of her children hailing black women. She later removed the video after black content creators said it made them uncomfortable and threatened. The user posted a video of her children on their knees praying with the added background audio that said, "Black women are the reason that Donald Trump is no longer going to be our president. All hail black women," end quote. The now deleted video included the captions, "Me teaching my white sons how to behave," and they were marching around chanting, "All hail black women." After this took like 5 takes. Another TikTok creator posted a response to the video saying, "Do y'all understand that these TikToks actually make black women uncomfortable? And black women do not feel safe. We do not feel protected. We actually feel fairly threatened right now because you are putting a target on our backs."
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's a target. It's just belittling their movement or something like and also, you know what? I would be like, this is maybe a joke, or she's just trolling, or this is just bait, and it's let it go. But the fact that she's using her children to do this makes it a lot worse than just trolling. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it would be just maybe it would like make me like You could just pass it as just a joke. Not to take too seriously. But I don't know. She's using her children, so that makes
I
it a
think
lot
this
worse.
is like really bad, like white liberals gone astray, because she has also said, where was it? So after I'll get into the backlash in a second, but she apologized for making Black women feel threatened. She said, "I want to thank people like Stacey Abrams from saving the ability of my children to vote one day." So I think
yeah.
she's like a little like that kind of progressive where you like lost your mind a little bit and you're just really not doing it right, because I don't know. Yeah, it there's a lot, but I want to get into some of the backlash. So this one particular content creator called Faith Farmer, said that we actually feel threatened right now because you're turning target on our back.
Threatened how? I don't understand.
Well, let's get into this. This person is claiming that this woman's TikTok is the same thing that low melanated supreme sandwiches say. So the same thing that W supremacists say. For those who are familiar, I'm using coded language because of the algorithm, okay? And then so she continued, "You're literally saying the same thing that W supremacists say, that we as Black women are responsible for what happens politically in this country, that we are the political radicals that are responsible for getting Donald Trump kicked out. You are literally saying that you think that Black women are inherently revolutionaries that change the system. Do you know what happens to revolutionaries historically? You're putting a target on our backs."
Oh my god!
But I think you know this, don't you?
What?
What?
What? What? Oh, come on! Like they're saying that she's a low melanin supremacy sandwich. Again, we have to say this because YouTube doesn't like us using the real words. Because you're like doing this on purpose, because you're saying every Black woman is a revolutionary, and every Black revolutionary, like people who are revolutionaries, something happens to them in history, and you're doing this on purpose so that people this is your evil plan to put a target on our back. I'm like everybody's like, oh my god.
I'm like, y'all have all lost your mind.
Like you had this lady did something insane. It was so easy to criticize it. It was so easy to just point it at as insane. But no, you have to have your own brand of insane to respond to it. You could just have been like, this is not it, okay? We want activism because we want equal rights and equal opportunity and all that, and equal treatment. This is not helping. This is ridiculing our movement, and this is like using your children for getting more attention. That would have been the reaction. But no, you have to come up with a goddamn crazy conspiracy theory that makes your movement look more ridiculous than this woman even tried to make it. Like you're doing a better job at ridiculing this movement than this lady did. I mean, come on, compare. I'm not even upset about this lady anymore with what she's doing with her children, because that is even more ridiculous, right? I was like wondering, could we just be like this little white lady? Maybe she was just joking. Maybe she was playing around. She shouldn't have used his children. I don't know. But now the response, she shouldn't even be the highlight anymore. The highlight should be like
that's what I wanted to get into.
The highlight should be like people come up with crazy conspiracy, like can't help but come up with crazy conspiracy.
So Imam Hussein is saying basically they outwoked her. Kenji is saying they think this woke mom is playing 5D chess. Basically. So here's the thing. I also was like, obviously W supremacists have like a lot. They do have a target on the back of Black women, but I have never. I mean, I'm pretty familiar with their rhetoric. I could be wrong, but I am not familiar with one of their rhetorical sticking points being that Black women, that they say, because this person is positing and saying that she's saying literally the same thing that W supremacists say, that we as Black women are responsible for what happens politically in this country. I have
I mean,
never heard that from a W supremacist. Usually,
you're trying
they're-
to make sense of something that
No,
doesn't
no,
even
but
deserve to be
usually they-
analyzed.
but no, I have to pick that apart because I'm like, where are you getting that from?
It's not even to get why. What you're taking something apart that is already all over the place. It's already taken apart by itself. Like you're analyzing like bull crap. Like you're. I don't know what to
Oh
say.
my gosh! But
Basically, this is like we see your wokeness, and we think like this
we
is like
raised you.
this is people think this is peak wokeness, right? Let's challenge that. Let's just like people are looking at this like, oh, white mom make her white children bow that worship black woman. It can't get more woke than this. It cannot get more woke than this. And they're like, hold our beer. Like watch like
Hold our beer.
well God damn it. God damn it. Okay. Anyways,
Oh my
all right.
god, there were some people on the other side, like on the anti-woke side, calling this child abuse. And like,
I mean, yeah.
is everyone involved lost their minds?
Oh, wait, this is child abuse. What are you talking about? These kids are gonna be like, we were you. Like they have no idea what they're doing. This is somewhat child abuse.
In that sense, yes, but I think the way that I perceived a lot of that criticism was coming from like what they were being, like the ideology behind what they were made to say, not the fact that they're like being put on camera in general, not knowing what they're doing. But I could be wrong. It was
Yeah.
there's so many different levels like to unpack here.
Katie's saying low melanated supreme sandwich doing taria. That's true. And Mom Hussein is saying in some ways what the mom did was awesome because she triggered the woke and she probably triggered a lot of the right. No, she did not trigger the right. The right is like waiting for stuff like this. Like they are like where they're like how can we make content if the woke people don't do something stupid, right? They're just like they love this because guys, if it goes for too long and the woke people don't do something stupid, they're gonna be like a lot of right-wing people are gonna be like, where's my fix? Where's my woke nonsense fix? I need it. Inject that into my veins. I'm telling you, they want this. The right-wing people want this. If she said worship young people for outvoting Trump, this wouldn't be a problem. I think this kind of positive discrimination is not contributing to the solution. I don't know. I don't think you should be you're making your kid like in a political video and make them bow down to anybody.
Well, I agree that positive discrimination is not contributing to solutions.
Yes. Yeah, actually, it hurts the movement. But yeah, anyways. No, yeah, I guess you're right. That makes sense. Hold on, let me see. Imam Hussein saying, but the right overreact as well. This TikTok is probably going to be overblown as if she is seriously making them pray. Yeah, I mean, you could count on they're going to feast. I'm pretty sure some of the right-wing content creator that I follow, they're going to feast on this. They're going to be like, oof. This is like red meat throwing in the lion's den. They're gonna come at this. They're gonna come at this for sure. Anyways, okay, yeah, guys, watch. Who's gonna be first? Is it gonna be Ben Shapiro, or is it gonna be Tatum, Officer Tatum, or is it gonna be Candace Owens? Who's gonna make the first one? Who's that guy that we follow? Is Joshua guy? He's gonna
Josiah.
Right? One of them, at least one of them, these people are gonna make something about this. Anyways, should we move on? Hold on, let me bring up the next news. Can we clap for the next news?
Yes.
Oh, great. Yes, it seems like we can clap. Next news.
Turkish sex cult leader sentenced to more than 1,000 years in jail. A Turkish
1,000
1,000 years.
Wait, did the judge do the Dr. Evil thing when like 1,000 years in jail? Okay, go.
$1 million. A Turkish Islamic televangelist was sentenced to 1,075 years in jail on Monday, January 11th, for running a decades-old cult whose members were accused of crimes ranging from sexual assault and blackmail, money laundering, even espionage. State-run Anadolu agency reported that Adnan Oktar, who wrote books about Islamic creationism under the pseudonym Harun Yahya, was tried in Istanbul alongside 236 other alleged members or enablers of his religious and television network. The cult leader is known for surrounding himself with his quote-unquote kittens, who are young women who are often dressed in revealing clothes while he aired his verdicts on religious and political matters. Yeah, so this guy's notorious. Vice actually years ago did a little mini documentary about him that's fascinating. So he posits himself as an Islamic religious authority while he surrounds himself with bimbos, for lack of a better term. And that's not any sort of like contradiction for him. But what's kind of funny about this guy is he literally looks like and acts like a cartoon, a stereotype of a sex cult leader. Like his eyebrows do the thing where they curl up. His eyebrows literally do the villainous thing where like the villain's eyebrows curl up at the ends instead of like curling, like going down around the face. Like they literally go up. He looks like a cartoon of a villain, like, and who surrounds himself by bleach blonde, scantily clad women all day as he runs, a television network to promote his propaganda. Like, it's a little too on the nose. But yeah, sentenced to over 1,000 years in jail.
Okay, so what his mistake was?
What?
So this is why when you want to do stuff like this, you do the official state religion rather than making your own offshoot cult. Okay, so if you get too greedy, okay, you think like, because if you want to see, if you're like in the business world, you could either like go with a franchise like McDonald's or Burger King, or you can make your own restaurant, right? But if you make like a McDonald's or Burger King and you make a franchise, the problem is that you have to send some money to the higher ups because you have to you're using the branding, okay? But in return, you're getting protection and you're getting some marketing and you're getting the trusted logo and everything, and people recognize this and know what they're getting, right? But you might get greedy and you may be like, you may be justified in thinking, no, I opened my own sandwich restaurant and it's going to be better, it's going to be higher quality, I'm going to be different, I'm going to make more money, I'm going to have less brand recognition, but I'm going to keep more of the money to myself. That might work with other businesses, but if you do that with cults, right? So if you want to have like all the benefits of a cult, you might get so greedy because you don't want to do as like you do. The safe way is to just become an imam or a priest, okay? I know it's not that appealing because you have to send something to the Vatican, or you have to send something to, I don't know, people in Tehran. Like, you have to do their services for them, or you have to do the biddings of the imams in Zahra University, right? And you're not very free when it comes to what you can say. They give you, just like McDonald's and Burger King, they give you some limitations, right? These people, Al Zahra University or Qom or people in Tehran, they give you some limitations as well. And you might be like, I can't grow like this. I can't get my cult growing. But See, if you get too greedy, you end up like this guy and you get 1,000 years in prison, right? If you become an imam or like a priest with the Catholic Church, you will get all of this. Like they will get your if you have women like this, if you start like doing something with children, you're not going to get 1,000 years in prison. You're going to get protection, right? They're going to get a different treatment, right? You can get all their moms, all the religious authorities and the government. They're going to come and they're going to protect you. You get some sort of protection. So at that time, the investment is going to have its return. You're going to see like, ooh, this is why I didn't start my own cult. This is why I stuck with Islam, the official Islam or the official Catholic religion or the official Shiism or Sunnism. I stuck with the schools of thought that was already out there because now I get like legal protection, I get funding. But now this guy was too greedy and he wanted to open his own cult and now he's in jail, right? You could get away with murder if you're part of the official cult rather than your own unique brand cult like this guy. Now, so you see, learn from this guy's lesson. If you want to make a cult, go with the older cult that the state recognizes. Okay.
Katie is saying, hey, don't shame bimbos. Hey, I'm purely using that word as an adjective. I am firmly pro bimbo. Okay. But it's also a very good descriptive word to quickly communicate what I'm trying to get at. Okay. I am 100% pro bimbo. And Ghost Bunny is saying, if the women were there consensually, what's the issue? Well, this cult involves the sexual abuse of minors. So I think I know you would agree, Bunny, that is an issue. And that is a sticking point, is that there's a lot of stuff going on that was not strictly consensual.
Yeah, we didn't say it was like with the adult. Did we at any point, I think, say that these women were doing anything wrong? The adult ones? We didn't.
They may be guilty of other crimes, but just because...
Yeah, they may be, but we don't know. Like, we didn't say, and we didn't say that.
All 6 of these women may be his girlfriend. Like,
yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, they're not doing anything wrong. I mean, suck him dry while you can before he goes to jail. Like, for sure, go ahead. Like,
oh my god!
No,
Whoa.
Meaning money. I know you guys. Yes.
Oh, then I just exposed myself.
I know you would. That's why I said it that way.
No, but look at this guy. Look at him. He literally looks like a cartoon of a villain. Like, look at him. Look at this man. Like, he's the cartoon of a conspiracy theorist, crazy televangelist. Like, I can't get over this. Look at this. Look. Oh my gosh.
Okay, Susanna, you're making fun of people's looks now.
I know. I'm not. Well, I'm just saying that his look is very on the nose. It's a little too on the nose.
I mean, he doesn't look bad though. He just looks like a villain.
Looks like a villain cult leader.
Yeah, a good-looking villain.
Yeah.
I mean, he could lose some weight, but other than that, he looks like a. Yeah, I mean, you're
like literally.
Look at the eyebrows. You're right. Oh
like,
my god.
You can't
oh my god. I was like, you're making fun of him, and now I'm like laughing with you. Oh, okay. Yes, Razam is saying he's doing the Muhammad style. He is only following the Sunnah. Yes, but again, Muhammad is established. You have to go with the established cult rather than making your own cult. I mean, Muhammad took a risk and he succeeded. Not always not most people that start a cult, for every cult leader that succeeds, for every Jesus and Muhammad, there's a million of them that go to jail, go to prison for 1,000 years.
Yeah. Who in their right mind wouldn't suck him dry of his money?
I mean, can you blame them? Yeah, can you blame them? I mean, if this guy has so much money and he's throwing it around, you're like, oof, he's gonna go to jail soon. I better show up there and grab as much as I can before it goes.
Yeah,
Like,
and
I wouldn't blame you.
in terms of like the oh well, what's wrong if this is consensual? One of the women at his trial, identified only as CC, told the court that Akhtar had repeatedly sexually abused her and other women. Some of the some of the women he had raped were forced to take contraceptive pills. When asked about the 69,000 contraception pills found in his home by police, Akhtar said that they were used to treat skin disorders and menstrual irregularities.
What?
69,000 contraception pills. Akhtar told the presiding judge in December that he had close to 1,000 girlfriends. Quote, "There is an overflowing of love in my heart for women. Love is a human quality. It is the quality of a Muslim," he said in another hearing in October. He added on another occasion, "I am extremely potent."
I don't know if
It is an overflowing of love for women and a defining quality of a good Muslim. I love that he put that in there.
Yeah. Anyway, we should go to the next news.
Absolutely wild. Oh my gosh, wait.
Oh yeah, more juicy stuff.
I mean, the fact that he was sentenced to over 1,000 years in prison tells you that there's just too much craziness for us to even get into right now. But go check out the Vice documentary about him from a couple years back. It's fascinating.
Yeah, people are saying why 69? It should be 70. You mean 72? I think you guys are trying to say.
But 69 is nice.
Yeah. Susanna likes it. Susanna approves. All right. We do need to go to the next news. Can I clap for the next news?
It's not good. No one gets hurt.
That's good enough for clapping, I think.
Okay.
That's our standard now.
It's shady church business.
Next news.
German Catholic officials ask reporters for silence on child abuse report.
Oh.
The Archdiocese of Cologne called for a press conference on Tuesday, January 5th, to discuss an unpublished report investigating child abuse in the German Catholic Church. Specifically, church officials were to explain issues regarding the report's methodology. According to Cologne Archbishop Rainer Maria Volke, these issues were the reason for withholding the current document from the public. The church representatives said that they would show journalists a redacted version of the report. They also asked reporters to sign a pledge to keep the contents secret, including information on crimes, alleged perpetrators, and implicated church officials. The agreement said, quote, "The journalist commits himself to exercise absolute silence regarding this information," end quote. All journalists at the event refused to sign the statement. And in fact, this article even says that they just walked out. They walked out of this press conference.
The journalists just walked out?
Yeah.
They're like, screw you.
Yeah.
Great job, journalist, eh?
Yeah.
Why are these people not being just like arrested for withholding this information? Isn't that like a crime? Like, I don't know how these laws work, but if I had because I don't know, I'm very ignorant about this, but if I had to guess, if you have information about people committing crimes and you're holding it and you're just not just making it public, isn't that like aiding criminal activity in some way? Like, aren't these supposed to just like be put in handcuffs right now? All of them, every single person that knows and refuses to make this public. Shouldn't there be like a whole army of police just raiding this whole place and just grabbing this information without permission? Isn't that what's supposed to be happening?
Well, okay, so this is Cardinal Volke promised an independent and comprehensive investigation into sexual abuse in his diocese 2 years ago. However, in October 2020, victims were told the ensuing report was, quote, not legally watertight, and contained, quote, inadmissible prejudices. The new version of the report is expected to be released in March of this year. The decision to withhold the document until it's reworked has already caused backlash in Germany. The law firm which drew up the report also decried the delay. And Volke himself faces accusations of failing to inform the Vatican about a sexual abuse allegation.
Okay.
So there's just something shady going on here. So this is, supposedly an independent investigation. So this is independent from the state, right? And they're saying that this is not legally watertight and contained inadmissible prejudices. Legally watertight for who? And inadmissible prejudices against whom? Against the accused? Is there a prejudice against the church? Is there a prejudice in favor of the church?
Wait, so Mom was saying, so Turkey is handling their PEDO called problems better than Germany, I see. I don't know, guys. I don't know what the law about this is, so I'm gonna just claim ignorance. I'm just guessing if this was a different organization, there would be a different standard, maybe. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, imagine if this was, I don't know, Google, okay? And they had reports of child no-nos. We already said child abuse. Yeah. Inside Google, in the same numbers that you see in the Catholic Church. Do you think, like, there wouldn't be a different reaction? Do you not think, like, every single official in Google would be in handcuffs, and not like all the people that were involved, if Google had information that it was not releasing, there would be criminal charges? Like, let's say that this, like, Google's offices in Germany was doing this, wouldn't Germany be like shutting down every single office of Google in Germany? Like, wouldn't you think like there would be like some extreme, like justifiably extreme reaction to all of this if this was like happening in an offices of a different organization that was not religious? Like, I can't really say this for sure because I'm like trying to be always skeptical, but I think there is some religious privilege happening. I just detect like a hint of religious privilege here happening, okay? Even in freaking Germany, okay? I mean, if we have this, I know, again, I can't be sure, but if we have this degree of religious privilege in Germany, imagine what's happening in Iran and in Saudi Arabia and in Pakistan and in Bangladesh. Like, this is the best we can get, right? Like, Germany is like one of the best that we could get. Like, and this is the best is this. So, yeah, I mean, I get at least Australia is setting some precedent and taking the proper action. So all hopes to, let's keep promoting Australia's method. Hopefully some other countries. Like, isn't this like such an easy win for politicians right now? Like, how much support does the Catholic Church have among people? Like, wouldn't this be like, we need to make it so obvious for politicians in different countries that this would be such an easy, like, people would vote for you. People would be like, yay, finally. Like, if you make this your flagship, like your, something that you wage war on, right? Like, you become like the senator or this congressperson or this MP or this whatever or this mayor or this governor in this one country, that you're going to be like, you know what? I'm going to lead this. I'm going to go aggressively against the Catholic Church. Isn't that worth some votes or some people coming out and clapping and making your political career go forward faster? We have to signal to politicians that this would be popular to make this happen. I don't know.
That's pretty wild.
I'm saying Germany is not very secular. Yep. I mean, I know that the church in Germany and even the mosques in Germany have a lot of privileges. So there is that. Anyways, do we want to go to the next news? Can we clap for the next news?
It's about love jihad.
It didn't even die.
No. Oh,
Okay.
we'll clap for the news.
Clap for news. Susanna allows. Next news.
Next news. Indian state government insists that anti-conversion law is not bigoted. Since the Uttar Pradesh or UP, quote, prohibition of unlawful conversion of religion ordinance was in the prohibition of unlawful conversion of religion ordinance was enacted over a month ago. Police have booked 86 people in 16 cases involving allegations of forced or deceitful religious conversion for marriage between Hindus and Muslims. In all, 54 people have been arrested, including family members and friends of the main accused. In all cases, the key accused is Muslim. A senior Uttar Pradesh government functionary said, quote, the law does not espouse any motive to single out any religion or faith. Such legislation was necessary to prevent only those marriages that are done with the sole purpose of conversion. The law, in fact, safeguards human rights by preventing fake, fraudulent, or deceitful premises of marriage, end quote. In fact, when interviewed by the Print India, several women involved with these cases say that they were coerced into giving statements against their romantic partners, not coerced into conversion or marriage. Many women portrayed as victims alleged that they were pressured to comply with the police reports by their parents, particularly their fathers, or even by local far-right Hindu groups.
So, what are your thoughts on this?
It's absolutely, how can you, it's so hard. I mean, I really have a hard time even thinking about how someone could honestly, genuinely posit that this is not bigoted toward Muslims. Because if forced conversions in Pakistan, like, wasn't a thing, if this wasn't something that happens in the subcontinent, like, where would this narrative be coming from? If there wasn't virulent anti-Muslim bigotry coming from the chief minister, for example, of this state that enacted this ordinance, like, where would this be coming from? This isn't a to my knowledge, I am not aware of people being forced into Christianity nowadays in India. I know that there are circumstances in the past, or Sikhism. Right. You know, like, I'm like, where else is this coming from, though?
So, but like, anybody who believes Uttar Pradesh saying that this is not discrimination, that it's religion neutral, you're a moron if you believe that, right? I mean, we have seen how these laws are being executed. We've seen how they go after people who are clearly in love, but they just happen to be of different religions, and they're trying to separate them, trying to abuse them. They're saying that this is just anti conversion. First of all, I mean, did they say conversion, or did they say anti? For just a short answer, anti-conversion, or did they say anti-forced conversion?
Well, the law is called unlawful conversion. They are speaking of a phenomenon of forced or deceptive.
See, that's the key thing, because they know that these conversions are not like in Pakistan. They're forced, right? In India, they're mostly not forced. They're just people fall in love, and sometimes they change their religion so that they could be with each other more, because society in India is so against interfaith marriage, and especially, and because the family of the husband is not going to accept you if you are not a Muslim, right? So they feel like, you know what, I want to be with this man, I'm going to convert to Islam for the sake of their love, right? And they say this is deceitful, because they know they're adding that line because they know it's not forced. They're adding that line because it's not forced, and they say it's deceitful because they just want to, who's going to prove that it's deceitful? It just opens their hand to go after every single interfaith marriage. And that is not us just guessing that that's what they're doing. We've seen that like the women who have converted to Islam to be with a man, they're telling you that like they're coming out like, no, I did this. I'm an adult. I'm a human being. I fell in love with this guy and I converted because I want to be with him. And they're like, no, you've been like, we know what's in your head more than you do. You've been brainwashed. I mean, technically, everybody who's in any religion, they're brainwashed. But a lot of these women are not even care about the religion. They just want to be with that guy. So they say whatever they want to have to say to be with that person that they're in love with, right? But again, these people, they have actually have made it law, the law of the land, to make it the government's business to go tell people who want to be with each other that they can't be with each other because of religion. Like if you don't consider yourself, if you can't see how evil that is, how you like, when I keep telling people, when they write fairy tales and two people fall in love and they want to be together with each other, and there's this evil villain that for some reason wants to separate them. Uttar Pradesh, you're that evil. You're the baddie. You're the baddie in these fairy tales. You're the baddies in millions of people's fairy tales right now. Hindutva. Okay? Like, how could you not know that you are being the evil? You're the villain here. You're anti-love. People are finding each other and they want to be with each other, and you're making it their business. Guys, they're going to people's weddings and stopping them. You're going after people who have already been married from months ago, and they're trying from years ago, and they're trying to separate them. And they're claiming that this is because like Muslims are trying to do demographic engineering in India by marrying Hindu women and converting them to Islam by force. Or now they're saying by manipulation because they know it's mostly not by force. So there's like this is this is apparently the evil genius plan of Muslims in India to change the entire demographic of India by going out and being better than Hindus and picking up girls by doing something better than asking for bobs and vagine. I mean, like, oh my God, you didn't ask me for bobs and vagine on the first date. How you're amazing. So I'm gonna go with you instead of the Hindutva guys. And like so apparently that's by the way, that's the only thing you need to do to be able to sweep them off their feet, because they're like not asking them maybe on the second date. That would be so impressive because instead of asking for bobs and vagine on the first date. Okay, so they're better at apparently at Hindus at picking up girls, and that is their plan, to basically go and do one Hindu girl at a time, marrying them and convert them to Islam, and all of a sudden, but it's very hypocritical because the Hindutva, they're actually doing demographic engineering in the way that demographic engineering actually gets done, like by moving people in the millions in Kashmir and in other places. They're actually trying to do demographic engineering, and they're accusing Muslims of doing demographic engineering in the most dumbest, unrealistic way possible. But yeah, go on.
So the Print India did a really interesting write-up on this. And so where is it? So the Print traveled across areas of Uttar Pradesh, the Indian state, to track 8 of the 16 cases, visiting families of both the accused and the quote-unquote victims, sifting through first information reports, case diaries, and speaking to police officers privy to the investigations. What came out were several discrepancies in some of the cases made out by police and the facts narrated by the women involved and their families. Here's what we found. 7 of the 8 FIRs that the Print examined mentioned that the woman was cajoled by the Muslim man with an intention to marry and change her religion. However, in 4 of these 7 cases, the women portrayed as victims of a forceful conversion bid denied the claim outright and told the Print that there was no talk of forced conversion. While one of the 4 claimed she was pressured to give a statement against her Muslim partner by her parents, another said that her mother's complaint to police was a result of pressure from a fringe Hindu right-wing group active in their area. So it's gotten to the extent that the far right in India is now pressuring entire communities into these actions, right? It's not even the direct pressure of their family. Of the 7 cases, there were 2 where the woman involved have alleged forced conversion. In the 7th case, the woman had eloped with her Muslim partner and thus could not be reached for comment. And because they had eloped, the police just went ahead and registered an abduction case. Sections under the anti-conversion law were invoked after it was discovered that her partner was a Muslim neighbor. So they discovered that she had eloped. When they realized that it was a Muslim, then they brought in this law. Or at least that's the way it's being portrayed here. So because they had eloped, the guy was Muslim, they're like, this is a forced conversion. In all of the 8 cases, the complainants, mostly fathers of the woman, have claimed that the accused Muslim men hid their identity and quote-unquote fooled their daughters. But this claim has also come into question. Only one woman has claimed that the Muslim man lied to her about his identity, while a teenager involved in another case claimed the man, a former classmate, initially lied about his identity but came clean when she told him that she didn't like Muslims. Among the others, this is a case we covered last week. One said that she hid her boyfriend's identity so that her parents would allow their marriage, while another stated that she willingly married her Muslim partner in July, 4 months before the law was notified. This case also appears dubious because the law does not apply retrospectively. So this government, these police forces, these communities or far-right gangs that pressure people hate Muslims so much that they are now going to try to apply this law retrospectively. They're trying to apply it to marriages in the past when this wasn't even applicable. So they didn't even break any laws because there were no laws against this. In the 8 cases analyzed, 7 involved Hindu-Muslim couples who were in a relationship, romantic or friendly, that their families did not approve of. In the 8th case, a teenager described the accused as a friend that she liked very much until she came to know of his religion. So they weren't even in a relationship. It's like, you're my friend. I didn't know that you're Muslim, and now it sounds like they're not friends, which is awful itself. Yeah.
Did you see the video I did of that lady who converted to Islam before this law was even passed?
Yes.
And the mob showed up. That was at their house, and they got the police to take the woman to the police station for questioning, and she was like, "Look, these are my marriage certificates. Look, I was married before this law was passed." But it was enough for the mob, and the police were together, and the police was listening to the mob, and she was like at the police station showing everybody that like she was already married and she converted willingly, and she had a miscarriage while she was in custody, if I remember that correctly.
I don't know if that was confirmed or if it was confirmed because of situations involved with being taken into custody. Because I think I'm not remembering completely correctly, but I think she may have even alleged that the police injected her with something while she was in custody.
Yeah, but we don't know if that's true. But the part that we know is true is the fact that we saw on video where the mob showing up, and it was amazing because the
mob was going through her documents.
And
then the mob were the ones going through her documents, wearing their saffron scarves and everything. And then remember later they took some of the same guys in the mob who were flipping through her documents on camera,
as if they're the police.
And yeah, exactly, as if they're any sort of authority. And then the journalist or someone went to them afterwards and was questioning them about it, and they're like, "What are you talking about? We weren't involved, blah blah blah." And they like literally cut to the guy flipping through her documents.
They were like, we just want justice. But they themselves were doing the investigation, and when the police showed up, they didn't like question or arrest the mob that was harassing the woman. They arrested the woman. They take the woman to check if she actually has a legal marriage. if she has violating interfaith law. Like, she's like showing them 100 times, like, look, this is my marriage date. Why are you guys even like taking me to the police station? And what, the mob never got arrested for anything. The mob was like investigating the woman in front of the police. Oh my God, it's so
Wait,
crazy.
this is so bad. Just listen to this sentence. The reaction to the laws have been different depending largely on a family's religion. While one Hindu woman's family claimed that they were grateful to the anti-conversion law and police, saying they, quote, helped them secure the couple for the woman's good, end quote. A Muslim household said that they now warned their sons against going out. Guys, this is like 20s, like deep South segregationist America.
This is like 1940s Germany.
This is really what it's sounding like.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you're bringing back anti-miscegenation laws.
Yeah.
And I can't believe that more of the media around the world, that this isn't an international outrage. Can you imagine if any state in America even brought forth any sort of piece of law that even hinted at adding additional steps for anyone on the basis of race or religion to get married? Because part of this is that you have to give the magistrate even further notice than any other type of marriage, right? You have to give them sometimes a month to 2 months extra notice beyond that of any regular, quote, regular type of marriage. That's obviously discriminatory. Like, if that happened, even the slightest hint of that in America, that would be just like the whole world would be exploding. Like, this is the 21st century. Like,
to show you how what Susanna's pointing out, like, when we talk about Uttar Pradesh, and people are like, oh, it's just one of the states in India. Okay, Uttar Pradesh has 200 million population of 200 million, right? So that's like 2/3 of United States. The United States has 300 million, but one of the states in India, just one of the states, has like 200 million, right? So this is the law now in Uttar Pradesh, and which is affecting 200 million people. So imagine if United States had a law, just passed a law for the entire country saying that, or even let's just say for California, right? Or for Texas, okay? That, inter-race marriages are banned now, right? Like, let's say black and white people cannot marry each other, and every time a black man married a woman, like, imagine if you had the mob like going out and like attacking weddings, going out and showing up like a white woman's house, the mob outside demanding to see the marriage certificate, to see and investigating, and the police, and they call the police, and the police doesn't arrest the mob, the police arrest the white woman because she married a black man. Imagine if this was like a thing now in the United States. Like, imagine the global reaction to that. Imagine the global reaction to that. But this is what I'm telling you right now is happening. It's happening in Uttar Pradesh, and the world doesn't give a crap because apparently Indian lives matter less. Go on.
This is absolutely crazy. And they're saying it openly, you guys. This is how open and explicit they are. This fear, members of the local Hindu right-wing groups say, is necessary. This fear is very important among this community. Even if an innocent man is getting arrested, it does not matter. At least it will instill fear in the others and keep them away from our daughters and sisters. Jitendra Bains, a Bijnor-based leader of a fringe Hindu group, Jagran Manch, said. So this is a leader of a far-right Hindu group. According to Baines, the achievement of this law is that, quote, a Muslim will think 1,000 times before befriending a Hindu. That was our aim, and we have achieved it, end quote.
So, guys, if you're watching this from outside of India, or like you, if you're not comprehending how disgusting this is,
I think that's pretty clear.
Let me translate it in a way so that it actually starts making you feel icky, so you could understand what this sounds like. Imagine like a white Southerner saying that this law makes a black man think 1,000 times before they come out around our white girls. Okay? So we want to make them afraid of coming around our white woman, and we have achieved that. Okay? Listen to that, and if that makes you disgusted, now you understand what this law is about. Now you maybe if I translate it in the language that you speak, maybe you understand what's happening here. Okay? So you could be properly disgusted a little bit. Katie has some...
reading that last quote from this far-right Hindu leader makes me need to take a shower. Like, it's so... Guys, like, people are like, oh, Susanna, what are you talking about? I'm like, when I say that the far-right in India is honestly scarier than the far-right in the US specifically, it's like... they just make it so obvious. And the thing is, the far right in the US is a problem, but they're not enacting laws like this. Like, it's absolutely crazy.
Look at this. Armin, I am a Hindu still because our philosophy revolves around consciousness, which you atheists have no answer. I mean, if what we're showing it to you today is a result of your religion, I think we're doing a bit better than what Hinduism has to offer. I think we're okay. Thank you so much. Okay, I don't think you're in the position to lecture us about morality or philosophy right now. We'll pass on that. Thank you so much, but you could keep that to that bull crap to yourself. Thank you very much.
I really could not give a shit about your consciousness philosophy when it's coming at the cost of people's civil liberties.
Right? Yeah. Like, if this is you can know them by the result. Huh?
Look at Ashniki is saying pass.
Yes.
Hard pass.
Here. So Katie was saying that the mob that we told you that showed up to investigate that woman was how do you say it? Bajrang Dal. Okay. If we need to compare them to something American, Proud Boys would probably be the closest comparison. And then Katie said, Bajrang Dal is like the de facto police in Hindutva dominated regions. So let me, for people who are maybe like would be listening to this from the United States or some other Western countries, imagine if you had the problems of Proud Boys, but the police respected them and they were able to get away with actually policing the neighborhoods in United States and get away with it. Like, imagine, like, so as bad as like things are, like sometimes we're like, oh my God, we have a Proud Boys issue in the United States. Okay. Imagine if they were allowed to do policing in the streets and the police actually listened to them and respected them and let them lead the way when it comes to discrimination and stuff like that. So that's what you're dealing with right now.
Wait, I have a really dumb comment that I need to highlight.
Let me finish Katie's. Can I finish with Katie's comments? Because Katie's saying the mob actually said that the video in the Hindi, these laws are made for people like you who convert to other religions. Yeah, so the mob was telling the Muslim woman, like, we have these laws now specifically for people like you who convert to Islam. So they were telling her that. I think that was the last of it, but yeah, go on. You wanted.
Darwinian atheist is saying, I hate our far right, but they don't go and storm the effing parliament. Oh yeah, they just lynch people to death for beef.
Right, yeah, and
are you fucking kidding me?
They don't have to go storm the effing parliament because they own the parliament. If the parliament is on their side, why would they storm it? The parliament, okay, yes, actually it's a lot worse in India, okay? In United States, the far right storms the parliament. In India, the far right owns the parliament, owns the government, owns the presidency, actually, maybe not the parliament. But yeah, but they don't, everything is on their goddamn side. Why would they need to storm anything? They need to make it stronger. It's doing their bidding.
Okay, to be fair, Darwinian,
I know.
Atheist, that I retracted the comment that Susie wants to shout out. Fair enough.
All right, here. Katie's saying another comparison could be that the population of Uttar Pradesh is almost the same as the population of the entire Middle East. Yep. And then now this is if when it comes to all of the discrimination that you want to talk about in the Middle East, if you don't like, we're not talking about even all of India, guys. We're just talking about one state. Okay. So if you don't think as a secular activist, as a human rights activist, if you don't think this deserves your priority, then I don't know. You're missing. You're out of touch. Silva saying now court has struck down the 30-day notice for interfaith marriage and saying it's optional. So
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, we can.
I haven't read that.
Okay, Darwinian atheist, I don't know if you understand. If we use your comment to highlight something, we're not coming at you. Just they tell me to chill. You chill. Like, where am I supporting the Hindutva, right, guys? Okay, people tell me to chill. Darwinian atheist, you chill. We're not targeting you. We're using your comment to say something. Just relax. It's okay, all right? Hold on, we'll see.
Razam is saying, Hindutva, I am the Senate.
Yes, exactly.
True.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm like, they don't need to storm the halls of government when they have Yogi A as their chief minister.
Right. Okay, so guys, this is actually a really good segue, okay? This is a good segue to the next news, okay?
It is a good segue. Should we wait?
Because remember,
for our editor.
Okay, let's do next news. Last news. But before we talk about this, like, put this in the videos, okay, as for this segment as well, okay? Because if this is cut and you're watching this, what you're not going to realize is that the previous news, we were talking about how disgustingly vile the far-right Hindutva has become in India, and specifically in states like Uttar Pradesh, and how we compare them to some far right in other countries like United States, just to show people how vile and problematic and disgusting these people are and how much harm they're causing in India. Okay, so think far right United States times 100, times 1,000, and with full government authority and immunity. Okay, just imagine that. Okay, yes. Okay, yeah, they are. Okay, think that. If you don't know what we're talking about, maybe go look at our channel, see what the previous news was about. So these people, not only they have mobs that get to go and harass people for converting or for loving somebody of the wrong religion, and not only they have the full immunity from the police to do this, not only they don't have to, it's beyond the immunity, because they can actually force the police to go arrest the people that they want. Not only they have their favorite, the most far-right, disgusting politicians, the most bigoted politicians in the government, in the highest positions of the government, okay? And not only they have a president that does their bidding and says the things that they want. So think far-right, think Proud Boys in the United States, but they control everything, okay? They have complete immunity to harass people and have laws passed exactly the way they want, okay? But we are going a step beyond that, okay? Because it's not just India. Apparently, they also have a lot of control over Facebook and Twitter, okay? We have done live streams to show you how much staff in Facebook. This is not a conspiracy, because now we have actually mainstream media. Like, what was the article that we covered?
There was a giant expose in August of 2020 by the Wall Street Journal. We covered an article by Time magazine.
Just one short answer. Time, right? So this is not a conspiracy theory, okay? Because we have mainstream media also exposing how much Facebook's own staff are Hindutva, okay? And guess what happened just recently, okay? Guess what, Susanna? Do you want to tell people what just happened to Atheist Republic?
On early in the hours of Thursday, January 14th. Atheist Republic's main Facebook page has been completely blocked by Facebook to all users in India.
Mm-hmm. So, guys, we're talking.
This means that hundreds of thousands of our members have lost access to our community.
Yes, guys, I don't know if you guys understand. Maybe because you're watching us on Facebook and you don't understand how our Facebook page, which is now has like a fracture of the engagement of it used to have, right? Because of all the strikes that it's getting because of Hindutva. Okay, you have to understand that we're not talking thousands. We're not talking tens of thousands here, okay? Our Facebook page has 2,400,000 followers, which is the world's largest community of atheists anywhere globally, okay? And the Indian following of that was a major part of it. So we're talking about not thousands, not tens of thousands. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of Indians, right? Even compared to Indian atheist pages, our Indian following was more than all other Indian pages combined. Okay, so if there was any place for Indian atheists to get content, our Atheist Republic's Facebook page was the number one. And now they managed to file the Hindutva in India managed to go and get Facebook, American company, to block our page all over India. Okay, there are some fake Facebook pages that is not ours that people are like, oh no, but that's not ours, that's a fake Facebook page. Okay, but that is completely blocked, right? And for what do we get an email, Susanna? Did we get an email about this telling us that we did something?
No.
Did we get a reason?
No notification.
Did we get even a warning? Did we get like no? Just like
in relation to this, no.
Nothing.
All of a sudden, if I don't know if you have the screenshots, but all of a sudden, if you're in India and you go to our Facebook page without a VPN, you can't see us.
Yeah,
and
it says this page is not there.
I mean, can we safely claim that this is Facebook taking this action?
Yeah, no, because the page is not down. The only way, yeah, we can safely say this was Facebook. Which is very interesting because we have also a lawyer who is filing a petition to the same lawyer who filed a petition against us to the India Supreme Court specifically about us and the blasphemy we're doing against Hinduism. That lawyer just recently filed something as well against Facebook.
Do you want me to pull that up?
Yeah. So while you do that, I'm going to answer this question.
Investigator Susanna at the wheel. Okay, wait, let me get my fingers going. Just a second.
Okay, hold on. What was it? So what does how does it okay, so you're saying how Atheist Republic will fix that problem? We won't be able to fix this problem. There is no fixing this problem. The only thing you can do is to get people on our newsletter, right? And what we're going to do is we are going to make certain blasphemous art. The same reason why we're banned in India for blasphemy, okay? We're going to make that blasphemous art available to our newsletter subscribers, right? And we're going to start. We already have a couple ready to be sent out. This is art that you're not going to see on our Patreon account. The Patreon account, the blasphemous art that we have on our Patreon account is not safe for work, and it's only for our patrons. We're going to also have some certain blasphemous art that is only for our newsletter subscribers, and those are safe for work. And we're going to try to go on Indian. So here's the thing we need to do, okay? We're going to try to get all the as many Indian atheists on our newsletter, okay? So what we want to do is we want to get the art ready for our newsletter subscribers, and then we want to go to as many podcasts and YouTube channels that are in India, that are based in India or for an Indian audience, and we're going to go and tell them what Hindutva is doing to our page, and also tell their audience to jump on our newsletter. Okay, if you get on our Atheist Republic's newsletter, that's the only place. Like we can't, like they came out after us on Twitter. They removed us from Twitter. My account has been permanently suspended on Twitter. They're giving us strikes on YouTube, and now they managed to completely block us on India. The only way we could fix this is to get everybody on our newsletter. Okay, so link to our newsletter, by the way, is in the description. Very soon we're going to be sending to get people interested to join our newsletter. Very soon we're going to have art that is own blasphemous art that everybody is loving or hating. We're going to make certain an art that is only for our newsletter subscribers so that we can get them there. Okay. So if you're not subscribed, because guys, we don't know how long we're going to be on YouTube, how long we're going to be on Twitch. None of these platforms are reliable. People told us to go on Parler. We told them like, no, we can't trust.
And Parler was gone within 24 hours.
No, but even before it was gone, we told him like we can't trust any platform. The only thing we can trust, the only thing that nobody can take away from us is our newsletter. So we need to grow our newsletter, and you guys need to get on our newsletter, okay? And we're gonna make it worth being on our newsletter. We're gonna send you so much exclusive art every single week that you're gonna be like, oof, like all of it for free. Okay, so make sure you are on our newsletter. Okay.
So just as an example, so we discovered that we were blocked in India on the thank you on the 14th. Okay, then on the 15th, I don't know if you can see here, but it says 15th of January. I noticed that this particular lawyer,
we know this guy,
has he filed a petition in the Supreme Court of India, which explicitly mentions Armin Navabi and his tweets of Sexy Kali as reasons why the Indian government should now hold social media companies directly responsible for the content that is on their platform, and set up government officials who are experts and investigators into hate speech and fake news, because Sexy Kali is derogatory language. Just and look at who I'm wearing today. We have
this is why this started it all. This is sexy Hindu goddess Kali. Which that art is what started. Hold on, like show them this. There we go. That's basically what started all of this, because that's what the butt heard that started. Because of that art, we're now in India's Supreme Court having a file petition against us because they are so butthurt that we draw their goddesses. That's how far they escalated this.
Yeah,
that they us completely in India. By the way, let me ask, hold on, before you go over this, because somebody's asking on Facebook, what about your website? It is not your own domain as far as freedom of speech goes. They are blocking some of India's largest ISPs have blocked our website. Not all of them, but the largest one has so far blocked our URL. Okay, this is what I'm saying. It's not even the website is good enough. You have to get on our newsletter. Link in the description. That's the only way we're going to be in touch. We're going to be able to stay in touch with you, because even the website is not safe. But go on.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Yeah, and if you're blocked by that, if your ISP is blocked in India, it will say that it's blocked by the Indian government's telecommunication agency itself. So let's look at this for a second. So this attorney says petition has been filed by advocate Vineet Jindal and Rohit Mehra, advocate I don't know what this abbreviation means in this case, against Facebook and the Ministry of Telecommunication, Government of India, to block/remove objectionable content against Hindu gods and goddesses by Armin Navabi. Oh, hey, I know him. And Atheist Republic, and then they tag Yeah.
Wow, they actually tagged Hindu IT cell. Amazing.
Like,
they actually the lawyer. This the lawyer that is filing this against the Supreme Court actually tagged Hindu IT cell. They are amazing. Can you can you click on my account, by the way, just so that people see at Armin Navabi?
Wait, and to demonstrate really quickly, look at followed by Saint Susanna.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing, guys. How pathetic. Let me just hold on.
No. I want to.
No, let me just say this, just like quickly, okay? How pathetic you and your religion must be for you to take this, all of this. You're coming all because of that, because of a drawing. All of this, like you guys are children. You guys are pathetic losers. You can't take a fucking drawing. You have to go file a court case against us in the highest court in your land. You making your entire country look like a joke. And guess what? We're not going anywhere. We have so much more blasphemous art, and we're going to make sure it spreads all over India without a Facebook page, without a Twitter account. We're going to spread. And guess what? You know how we're going to make sure that all of this, we have hundreds. No, we have thousands of more, way more juicy blasphemous art coming your way. And it's going to go all over India. And we're going to guarantee that it spreads all over India because of what you're doing. Not in spite of what you're doing, but because we're going to.
Have you ever heard of the Streisand effect?
Yeah, we're going to come for you, and we're going to make you look more ridiculous than you even seem right now, which is really hard to do because you look so fucking childish and ridiculous. So it's challenging to make you even look more ridiculous, but you're helping us, okay? We are helping us. We are coming, and guess what? We are actually going to grow. Thanks to you guys, we have become, more people are finding us, right? Take down everything we have. Because of how newsworthy what you're doing is, more people are finding us. And not only they're finding us, they're actually supporting us. So you have actually funded more blasphemous art because we could not afford making all of this blasphemous art. But because of the support that we got, because of you coming after us, and guess what? A lot of that support is from inside India. It's coming from inside India. Okay? Oh, you everything you're doing is backfiring because now we had one blasphemous art. Now we're going to have thousands, and we're going to make sure Hindus will get to see it. Good news for Hindus. We have more sexy Kali coming right your way. Anyways, sure.
Actually, our next art does have sexy Kali.
Yeah, our next art has sexy Kali and another goddess licking the tip of Shiva Lingam. Okay? Shiva Lingam. Okay? If you want to see the explicit version of that, the like very not safe for work 18 plus version of that, that's going to be available only to our patrons. Link in the description. But now we're going to make free versions as well. Wait, do you want to show? Okay, free versions as well, which is going to be not explicit at all. Those will be for our newsletter subscribers. Let me actually show you guys what this is going to look like. So yes.
So guys, go to blasphemousart.com. This is our website for all of the latest art. So I update this with the latest draft every single night. So this is the second draft that came out yesterday for our latest sketch of the Shiva Linga. And we have lots of other arts as well.
Yeah, it's all censored because we can't show you how it's too sexy for YouTube or anywhere else. Okay, so you guys could see, but the uncensored version. Okay, so the sexy uncensored version is going to be for patrons, all right? But there's going to be one where they're fully clothed, and that's going to be available for free of charge to our newsletter subscribers. So, and that will guarantee us a big audience on our newsletter, okay? Guys, we own our newsletter, okay? We own the list, so there's no powers in the world that could remove that audience from us, okay? So if we grow there, then we become uncancelable, okay? So there's that.
Wait, but I wanted to highlight very quickly the actual petition that was filed. Wait, if I open this in a new tab, can I scroll in? Okay, yes, I can. Wait, let's give it to me. In the Court of Senior Civil, so in Delhi, this is where the Supreme Court of India is, although I don't think that this was filed in the Supreme Court. So this attorney, Vineet, versus Facebook, and Arn, I'm not sure what this means. I think this just means like an associate, I'm assuming. So like this lawyer versus Facebook itself. So, and then the memo of the party, so saying that this advocate, this attorney, again, they redacted something here, and then saying is that the petitioner, meaning this is the attorney versus. So they're taking this against Facebook India itself, and they are taking this against the Ministry of Telecommunication, India's Ministry of Telecommunication itself, because of this. Okay. And look at it was dated. This is dated on the 8th of January. So this was dated on the 8th of January, and then by the 14th, our Facebook page in India is blocked by Facebook for all of our users in India.
Yeah. Anyways, so we're this is not going to stop us, okay? This is actually going to get more people on because we're going to use this as a news item to constantly talk about this on as many places as we possibly can, okay? And while we use this as an excuse to do that, we're going to tell people to get on our newsletter, okay? And by the way, just again, I'm going to have to emphasize, none of this, all of the stuff that they're doing, because remember, we had like 100 patrons for years of doing Atheist Republic. We were stuck at 100 patrons. As soon as these guys did this, we jumped from 100 patrons to 300 patrons, with a lot of people supporting us from India. And now, because of these people are trying to stop our blasphemy against their idiotic, childish, nonsensical, ridiculous, pathetic religion, and they were trying to stop our blasphemy, even though it was just one and then two blasphemous art. But because of what they did, now it's going to be endless and non-stop blasphemous art. So congratulations. But go on.
I mean, there's a lot of dumb comments that we can't even get to today because we've talked about it so many times. Like this person is saying, is it ethical to sexualize fictional mother characters? It's emphasis on fictional. And then Marcia is saying, oh, well, the world is divided by borders where the laws of a country are held by their own standards. Do you know what kind of abuses can be excused by this, Marcia?
Wow.
Are you kidding me, Marcia?
Wow.
Marcia is also giving me the completely...
This is bigotry of lower expectations here.
This is bigotry right here. And this is just the milquetoast response of, we have to respect the rights of other countries' beliefs. No.
Oh my. No, your beliefs are ridiculous and deserve to be ridiculed, okay? The traditions can be celebrated, but you believe, wow. Yeah, you guys are like, wow. Say it with me, everybody. Say it everyone with me. Wow. Say it in live chat with me. All right.
No, and we don't have to respect shit. And in fact, these beliefs are infringing upon other people's rights, which is a primary reason why we don't respect them. So maybe like just think about that. No, but then this guy is saying, he tagged me, rip to my account. What are you doing is making money by posting derogatory posts. You are against humanity. You are so secular negative. So he has taken to calling me secular negative on Twitter because we called him sex negative for his original petition that he filed. Because he's saying that we are against secularism, and he had some really dumb excuse as to like why this is against secularism, basically because like we're not respecting laws that uphold standards of blasphemy. Like was basically one of his arguments, or like not respecting other people's beliefs. That's against secularism. I'm like, no, you are literally, dude, you are. But anyways, guys, I swear to God, ironically, do not direct any abuse or harassment towards that individual.
Oh yeah, I know. Good point.
If you care about us at all, you will not interact with this individual, because that could
interact. No,
I don't.
interact?
I don't even want to go there.
Okay.
I don't even want to go there. So do not direct any abuse or harassment towards that individual. That could very much hurt what we are trying to do here, or just our case and getting our case back, our account back, our page back to Indian viewers, etc. So don't just don't.
Okay,
And
so
I'm
America
gonna
is saying,
call out people.
yeah, so she's clarifying. She's saying correct. Yeah, okay, so that's good. I do not respect their rights because of their. I mean, we do respect their rights, but they don't have a right to not be offended. I do respect their rights. I don't respect. I just don't think they think their rights is not to be offended, and they don't have that. That's not a right. That is not a right. I also do. I want to address this. You're saying that a newsletter is not going to replace your loss of following from Facebook. It's going to do better because newsletter is better than social media following. Every newsletter subscriber is worth 100 followers or more on Facebook, because you actually have. Yeah, it's not going to replace that. It's going to be something better, because you have people are telling you to send them something in their inbox, which is not. It's not going to be in Facebook's or Twitter's or YouTube's discretion, and their algorithm on what you see on their feed is going to be people telling you, send this to my inbox, and it arrives in their inbox. It's not going to be like, so if you're, for example, if you're subscribed on YouTube or Facebook, you might show up on someone's feed, you might not show up on someone's feed. Facebook might decide like, oh, I don't want them to see this, even though they said, I'm following this page, show me what this page has to show me. Like, I hit the notification bell, that means I want to see this YouTube channel, what they have to say. And YouTube is like, no, it's our platform. Even though people are requesting it, we're not going to send it to you. Newsletter is by far superior, because somebody's saying, send me your content, and we send it, and it shows up there 100% of the time, right? So it is like, if you get 100,000 newsletter subscribers, that's as valuable as having 10 million followers on Facebook or something like that, right? Because instead of 10% of the people being exposed to your audience, to your content, is all of them, right? So yeah, that again. So please get on our newsletter. Link in the description.
Can we go, because
Yes,
it's getting late here. I need to eat, and I'm getting lightheaded. So
yeah, me too. All right, guys. Again, subscribe to our newsletter, and thank you so much for being here with us. And yeah, and we miss Rivka. I know. And subscribe to this YouTube channel as well, because if we lose the Atheist Republic channel, my personal YouTube channel, Armin Navabi, subscribe to that as well. Okay, bye.